Here in Toyland, goods are being transported like clockwork. But in the real world, Germany is taking more and more criticism for supposedly flooding the global market with its machines and cars. The US is particularly vocal about it. Erwin Collier is an American economist at the Free University in Berlin. His Treasury Secretary recently used harsh terms to criticize Germany's reliance on exports. The Obama administration says Berlin needs to do more to spur imports, and that the German trade surplus is hampering the world economy. The argument is that Germany is growing at the expense of other countries.
If we see that the spending in Germany, the value of the spending, is less than the value of what Germany is producing, then it's in essence getting that production that being financed by the rest of the world. And that production in Germany are jobs that could be elsewhere.
But Holger Görg, an economist at the University of Kiel, says that's complete nonsense. He says the fact that there are more German exports than imports is simply a sign of how popular German products are.
Germany is being reprimanded for the fact that its economy is competitive and that it's exporting. This is somehow absurd. It's like telling the kid at the top of the class to slow down so the others can catch up.
But Germany can't slow down. Emerging economies like Brazil and India want German products. Construction equipment, for example. Germany's exports are growing faster than imports. The difference, the balance of trade, is now bigger than any other country's, including China's. The US also has its export hits, but it imports so much more than it exports that it has the biggest trade deficit. Could the US criticism be the result of envy? Not at all, says Erwin Collier. The Americans have nothing against German products. They just want Germans to buy more goods from the rest of the world.
Foreign trade makes no sense if all we're going to do is put together what they call the Julius Tower of treasure and essentially work to produce goods that other people consume, and we have a tower of treasure that we're not using for consumption.
He argues that the German government should lower taxes and increase wages to encourage people to consume more.
It would be, the Germans say, Ende der Bescheidenheit. I mean, this would be a time for German organized labor to act more like Southern or Mediterranean trade unions, to be much more demanding for wage increases that exceed the growth of productivity.
Holger Görg agrees that boosting imports makes sense, particularly in light of the fact that statistically, a quarter of all parts used to make German machines come from abroad, and not even from German-owned factories. That's why he thinks the current fuss is exaggerated.
Actually, it amuses me more than it annoys me. It comes around every 2 or 3 years. We've heard this criticism before, and the same arguments were discussed.
But criticism isn't coming only from the US. The European Commission has threatened a probe into whether Berlin's trade surplus is hindering EU economic recovery. Many in Brussels are less than happy about the strength of the German economy.